Hi, I'm Sarah. I am originally from Gisborne. I moved up to Waikato to study university at Waikato University. I have just completed a law degree with a second major in psychology, and I have just started working at CCS Disability Action last week. In high school, I decided that I wanted to study law, which limited me to where I could study it, to Christchurch, Wellington, Auckland or Hamilton, and I decided that I wanted to be near my family in Gisborne, so Waikato was the closest option, and I also looked at accessibility, and Waikato University had the most accessible student housing, and the campus was nice and flat and everything was in one place, whereas Auckland and Wellington, the living quarters were separate from where the classes were, and it's quite hilly and windy, which limits me in my ability to move around. So I chose Waikato because it allowed me to be as independent as I could be while still studying a degree that I wanted to undertake. And as well as that, I had been coming up to Hamilton on a regular basis for the LIM Centre, and we had developed quite strong family friends up here, so I had quite a good support network for my move to Hamilton, and my family was still reasonably nearby, and they would come up quite regularly if I needed them to. I'm a triple amputee from birth, 2 above knees and 1 above elbow, and I use artificial limbs to walk with, and occasionally I use a wheelchair, but I try and stay out of that as much as possible. While I was studying, I was fortunate enough to be accepted onto the Sir Edmund Hillary Scholarship Program, which recognises excellence in a sporting and art area alongside academics through university study. As far as I know, I'm the first disabled person to be on this program, and it really helped me because it created a lot of support network for my swimming and also academically to maintain the high levels of achievement that I wish to maintain while swimming and studying. In my last semester of study, I decided that I should start looking for a job because I really wanted to have something in place when I finished study so that there wasn't a huge gap in my career. And when I undertook my law degree, I focused on human rights papers, so feminism, health and disability, those kinds of papers, and that's the area that I'm really interested in because I want to help people, and I enjoy those issues about rights and people not fulfilling their potential because of limitations that society places on them. So that's why I started applying for jobs, and I was really drawn to this job at CCS Disability Action as a stepping stone to achieving that goal of working in the human rights area. In a few years' time, I really hope to complete my studies and continue and do my masters, but for right now I'm just happy to be in the workforce and gaining experience. In terms of my success in the job market, it took quite a while for me to get to even the interview stage. Before the CCS Disability Action job, I had only had one other interview for a job in Christchurch. I had sent out my CV and cover letter to a few other positions beforehand, and I was almost considering having a break from applying for jobs, and then I found this CCS Disability Action position, so I thought I should apply for this one. It sounds like something I would like to do, and so I put my application in and had the interview, and then here I am. So it does take a while to get that initial interview and response, and but I think you just got to keep trying, and something will come along. Earlier in this year, I undertook a semester studying abroad through the Waikato University in Chicago, which was a huge step for me personally and academically. I was a little bit unsure whether I would be able to meet the standards over there, and physically this would be the first time that I've lived so far away and independently from any of my support networks. So in total I was overseas for 7 months, and I was living in the middle of Chicago, about a 10-minute walk away from my classes, but I had full access to buses and other forms of public transport if I needed it. It was a little bit scary because I was there in the middle of winter, and their winters get down to minus 20 degrees Celsius, so it's definitely very cold. But I feel that from that experience I've learnt a lot about myself, and I've grown in self-confidence and a lot more independence about what I can achieve on my own before needing to have the support of others. Yeah. In terms of funding, I was able to acquire a few hours a week worth of support for washing and house cleaning and preparing meals and those sorts of things, and I found this to be very useful just to help me do the everyday activities that everybody does. My ultimate dream would be to work within the United Nations, most likely in the area around children and women's working with disability rights.